let me put us onto our game panel and let's get going. We're going to start off today, like I usually do on the Wordy Weekday here, with a little bit of crossword puzzling, and then we'll go through a variety of other games from there. However, Tuesday puzzles are usually pretty easy. So instead of starting on Tuesday, I'm going to start on Friday, and I think this will be a much more interesting puzzle for us to look at. We'll see what we do once this one is done, but Tuesdays are pretty fast, usually in the same vein as Mondays are, so I feel like we'll probably want to start with something a bit more interesting. So this is last Friday. Let's get into it. One of the things you may find here is that with these puzzles, the big long words are often quite hard to find, but if you find one, it really gives you like a framework to work around the rest. So, decorative, so to speak, could be a couple different kinds of things, but I think we're going to need a little bit more to go with that. Local equals fresh slogan here. I have never heard that slogan, so that one we're going to have to come back to also. Ahead. No, I'm not sure what that's looking for yet. That's okay, though. This is normal in a crossword. We got to go through and figure out what we're looking at, and then we come back to it later. E in a code. I would say like echo, maybe, or east, but no, not at the moment. It's only 3 letters long. Affliction, also known as cold neuralgia. Lots of unusual clues today. 3,600 secondi is probably ora or some other spelling of hour. We'll figure that out as we go, but I think that's probably a good starting point. Computer runs. Yeah, you can totally contribute, Luke. If you've done the crossword already, I would say don't give away all the answers, but you can absolutely contribute if you think you've got things that would fit. Company acquired by Panasonic in 2009. Is that like Kodak? It's probably another camera company, because why else would Panasonic acquire it? You don't do crosswords? Then no worries. You're free to contribute however you want. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Garuku. Probably Kodak. I don't know if that's correct. Oops, not Kodad. Kodak. So we'll leave it in maybe text. I don't know if I can... Canon is the other... the other camera company that would fit in there. And I don't know if I like the C better than the K. So let's just put Canon back in for now. Or Kodak, rather, in for now. And we'll come back and see what else we've got here. Well... yeah, I was thinking about that as well. I think it's just 1 dot in Morse code. My Morse code is a little rough, so I'm not confident about that, which is partly why I was thinking we'd leave it. But if it is just 1 dot, then that makes it pretty easy. What else have we got here? Malarkey. Malarkey? There's a lot of good words for that, but I don't know what goes in here yet. Do we have a problem here? It's like, we okay? Issue? I don't know, we'll have to come back to that one. Need some letters. An LA subdivision. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Luke. Is it dot or dit? Is it... because the other one is dash or da, right? So it's one of those. It's one of those. We can figure it out with a bit more context. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know about most of American politicians. I don't know the epithet for Bill Clinton is necessarily. We're going to get about to the middle, and then I'm going to come back up and do some of the verticals in here. Some coffee merchants' offerings. Could be lattes. Hackman's The Royal Tenenbaums co-star. No clue on that one yet. One whose work is barely seen, but with a question mark, which means it's almost certainly a joke. Interesting. Let's come back and check the starting verticals. E-card site with a reduplicative name. I don't know if I've even ever thought of an e-card site. It means almost certainly it's going to be the same 3 letters twice. But I don't know what that is. Oh, it could be PayPal. I feel like when I think of e-cards, I think of like the Christmas cards that would have like a little animation in them. I'm not thinking about it as a payment processor, but it could be PayPal. That does have the element of reduplicative name. Yeah, sure, let's put that in as a maybe. That makes sense to me. Spread? I'm not sure. Like noble gases chemically. I would say inert, but it's 1 letter too short. Non-reactive, inert. It'll be something like that. I just don't know exactly which word it wants. The nearest item to pick. I would assume that's closest, but what do you mean by nearest to pick? I think we're going to need a little bit more information for this one too. Land consisting predominantly of sedges. These are some weird clues. This is a good complicated Friday here. It could be stable. Lattes isn't necessarily correct, so that is certainly an option. Yeah, I like drop kick here for keeping our Kodak valid. Like 97% of the United States per the Census Bureau. I don't know about the United States Census. Old hand at shorthand. Some choppers. Dish whose name means barley in Italian. And Lilliputian. Lilliputian just means small, tiny. But 3 letters for small? Is it we? All right, let's come back and take a look at this. No, that's not telling me anything yet. No. No. I don't know what's going on with these. All right, well, let's keep working. There's probably more we can do. Let's finish the horizontals and see if we can do anything else with that side of things first. You should keep those details to yourself. Looks like TMI to me. Slightly off is like a jar. Askance doesn't seem right to me. It does fit, though. What else have we got here? Organization that releases an annual list of the year's most interesting contraband. I assume that's like the Border Patrol or something. But I don't know which organization abbreviation that is. It could be airports, it could be like Border Patrol, it could be some kind of C thing. Any number of potential 3-letter acronyms there. Some brunch dishes. Again, these long ones are really hard if you don't immediately clue into them, because I could see this being like some kind of breakfast burrito. I could see this being some kind of pancake, some kind of egg thing, but I don't immediately see an obvious one that fits that exact length. Restraining maneuver in judo. A style, perhaps? Yeah, I was thinking about that too. How journalists and detectives may act. Suspiciously? Curiously? I don't know. Yeah, well, I was thinking about that too, Guruku, like an English breakfast. But the fact is that that is much more breakfast coded than brunch coded. Like the other one that I was thinking could go here would be something like continental. Turns out it's one letter short. But that's, again, that's more of a breakfast thing than it is a brunch thing. Furs and beaches, but not furs and beaches. I'm assuming that's just trees, because fir and beach are both trees, but the other fir and beach aren't. Tahoe runner. That I'm not sure. A treat that occasionally catches fire. Is that a s'more? I don't know what other treat has fire involved, but s'mores make a lot of sense to me because you got to cook the marshmallow. Light could either mean not weighty, could mean bright, or could mean ignite. Not sure which one that one is yet. Kitchen gizmo could be a lot of things. Bit of belly aching could be like a moan. Leaves a double O here. Greet with a beep. Is that like boot up? Let's try that for now. We'll come back to these. Served as. Is it like nay or a la or aka? I'm not sure. It could be a couple different things in there. A la and aka would be pretty similar, but nay is very different. You win all right, geez. Is this like, okay, you got me? No, it doesn't quite fit. Doesn't quite fit. Store in oak casks say might be age. Spoke before the court. I would think like testified, but that doesn't fit. A no-no, or just no. Not sure what's going on there either. Totally missing the big picture. Okay, we've got a lot of clues here. We'll need some letters to figure out. So let's get back through what we were already working on. We're on the 23 down. Squid Game and the Red Sleeve for 2. I don't know if I've ever heard of the Red Sleeve. I know Squid Game, but is this about the origin of these TV series? I think the word here might be Korean. I don't know what that is, but I would not be surprised if it's another Korean show. So let's take lattes out and see if Korean fits. Oh, it doesn't. It's one too short. Okay. Because the Red Sleeve sounds like it's a romance, and Squid Game is much more like a dystopian, like dystopian future fiction. So I don't know. Neither of the things that I would think would fit there. Crosses to bear. Not like albatross, not like, it's a little too long for something like sins. Unlit with a question mark, meaning it's almost certainly a joke. These are hard. I picked a tough one today. It could be an actor in both projects. I feel like that's a little less what I would assume it would be, but it could be. Lacked an alternative. Could be like stuck. What else have we got here? Before informally. If it was like informally doesn't really imply ear, because ERE would be before poetically. But before informally. I'm not sure what it's looking for. Suburban attachment with a question mark? Is it like a boat? What's a suburb attachment? I don't know. These are tricky ones today. A camp bed is a cot. I'm pretty confident about that one. Direction in many spaghetti western. Yeah, exactly. Luke's got it caught there. Spaghetti westerns, I think, if I remember correctly, are mostly westerns made by Italians. Aren't they? I think that's why it's called that. Maybe I'm misremembering my Western history, but I don't know what that's looking for either. Zsa Zsa Gabor entered into it 9 times. There's a lot of weird clues in here. Dunks? Just dunks. 35 down. We're looking at like 8 letters. Is this meant to be like submerge in? Submerges maybe? No, it's a little too many letters. Submerges doesn't work. Italian immigrants in Hollywood made a lot of Western movies. There you go. There you go. These are hard. Rebels opposite is probably a prep. If we're going by school turns. Yeah, immerses is probably it. I like that. PB&J, unfortunately, is it a sandwich? I think it might be a sandwich, which would be pretty funny. It might not be. I'm not super confident about that one, but I like it. Bluffer's pronouncement, maybe. I'm thinking, is it like a straight? Is it trying to make up like a poker hand thing? But I don't see it immediately. Put down on paper. Sounds to me like penned. Comics often printed in black and white. Political comics are usually in black and white. Daily comics are usually in black and white because it's the weekend ones that are in color. Manga, but you're offended. It could be manga. It could be manga. Well, let me put this in maybe text and we'll come back to that. But I think it might be daily because generally only the Sunday comics are in color. Pianist Rubinstein, no idea. Dwarf planet in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Ooh. I think I've heard of this, but I absolutely cannot think of it right now. What else have we got? A tiny opening. My brain says like, well, no, because they have 2 A's next to each other. I don't know. George's computer friend on the Jetsons. Oh. My Jetsons knowledge, also a little dubious. Hey, Ben Bass and Beyond. Crosswords indeed. I'd love me a good crossword. This one is testing me a little more than I expected. I'm trying to remember any of the other characters in the Jetsons. I think it's an abbreviation, right? I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like Tony or something, but it's like a 4-letter abbreviation. Not updated my Jetsons knowledge, right? I think it's something like that. So if we say that this is like a pairer, what if it's that? And then this, I'm gonna maybe need another letter or two before we get that in. You speed solved this beast on Twitch the other day? Hey, congratulations. I am not that fast, evidently. NFL Coach Quinn, so many American things that I'm not familiar with. Sports, I'm not so good at. Politicians, not so good at. American government agencies, I don't know. Forte slangily. Oh, man, I am struggling. Let's see what else we can do with this. We've got a couple of verticals in the second half, so we're going to skip back down here and see if we can do anything with anything that we've put in temporarily. I don't know any about the actors. That one's not so good for me. You're a judge in the National Crossword Tournament. Hey, that's pretty cool. I am very much a crossword amateur. One whose work is barely seen. This could be taken in a couple of different ways. Because it has the question mark, it probably doesn't mean someone that works behind the scenes. It probably means someone who is hard to look at for some reason. But, yeah, product photography, I don't know. The P after the T here doesn't work, so it's either probably not that, or the T is wrong. Slightly off could be like suspicious, but it's obviously too many letters. What else have we got going on here? We are not going so fast. Some brunch dishes. The T and the C here makes me think something's probably wrong. I'm pretty confident about caught, but I'm not so confident about stuck. Can we do anything with this? I might come back to this one, because I think we might be able to get this. I don't know the judo move names. Yeah, exactly, Luke. There's just a lot of agencies with three-letter acronyms that could be. These are hard. Served as ending with S. It might not be immerses, but the clue here being dunks means it almost certainly ends in an S. Spoke before the court. This almost looks like excuse. These are hard, man. All right, I picked a good one today. It is a complicated crossword. This one might be one of the harder ones we've we've tried to do so far. So, what do we think we're looking for here? Are we looking for a kind of dish or something about the brunch dishes? Because I think we can probably solve this one. We've got a couple of different approaches we could take, but I don't know what I'm looking at still. Like camp? I'm seeing camp at the start here. No could be yes, it's true. Is it I would like it if... Let's... Could also be ham something? Camp doesn't really make sense. It was like campfire something. That's not a brunch thing. That's like an evening thing. If we put ham in here instead... Maybe prep is wrong? Is it... Is that how you spell omelets? I realize I don't know how to spell. Omelets are like my go-to breakfast item, so I'm trying to see if I can figure them in. If I ever order out go out somewhere for breakfast, I get an omelet almost every time. I like ham at the start because the TH and the MA makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that could be it. Can we validate that against any of these words? Ha! I know this one. This is that-a-way. Direction in many a spaghetti western. All right, ham omelets is looking like it could be correct. Jean-Jacques Gabor entered into it 9 times. Matrimony? Marriage? Marriage. Yeah, okay, it was in fact yes. It looks like served as is was. This is probably airy. This is obey instead of rebel. This is an arm bar. Okay, okay, we suddenly got some things. Unlit. Sober, because they're not they're not getting lit. All right, all right. This M-A-S. I wonder if this is meant to be like K-dramas. Because if it is, we're getting it Korean. That would make sense. What does this give us? Do we get anything on these verticals or on these horizontals now? Before, informally, could be maybe till. This is looking like erotic dancer. Suburban attachment is suburbanite. This is a bit off. Lacked an alternative. Maybe something in there is wrong. I'm not sure about that one. What do we do with this? Crosses to bear. No, I'm not sure what to do about that one yet. Can we do anything with this ending in a K? Do we have a problem here? No. Some coffee merchants' offerings. Still not sure. We got the corner, and we got a little bit more with this. But it doesn't necessarily open it up. A lot of these harder puzzles like this have things more quarantined, so it's hard to just like chain through the whole puzzle. Lacked an alternative. I'm seeing like hefty, lefty. Something else that doesn't quite make sense with that clue. This one, I'm also thinking something in here must be wrong. Probably the B? Because these letters don't look right either. What else can we do here? How journalists and detectives may act. This wouldn't surprise me if it's an R, but I don't know what I would do with that in this context. And penned, we're still not certain about. I like it. Put down on paper does make sense in the context of a past tense wrote. But great with a beep. This could be like I yield, but then there's still 5 letters left. So that's unlikely to be how it starts. Spoke before the court. Is that like gave evidence? Is that testified? Is this like a pre-basketball thing? Is because before the court, I'm thinking of it as a legal context, but it isn't necessarily one. It could be something like sang the national anthem. There's a couple of good words that could potentially fit in here, but none of them are the right shape. Spoke before the court. What else could that mean? Is it instead of is this case? Like let's take daily out of here. Is it like brought? No, not brought a case. Is it argued a case? It could be argued a case. If we're talking about like from the lawyer's perspective, that could be it. Greet with a beep is still weird though. Bluffer's pronouncement may be I raise. Okay, that makes sense with case. Can I prove any of these other bits here? They act on a tip. That makes sense to me. Is this just like toot at? It might be. You're talking about like honk the horn. It in. What do we do with the rest of these? Okay. This is still, I'm pretty sure, an abbreviation, but I can't remember what it is. Is this series? I don't remember if that's where series is, but it might be series. Pianist Rubinstein, I don't know. Comics printed in black and white. Looks like it might in fact be manga. Tiny opening is probably a port. This is probably sighted. This is probably near. Maybe this is poor, because this would be nearsighted. I don't know who this is. What is... Yeah, I don't know who this is either. These are kind of tricky, because these ones might be a little hard to solve. I think it's Rudy? I'm not confident about that. Let's put a U in there. Because that's like a name that you could turn into a digital intelligence abbreviation that still sounds like a person's name. Forte could be bag. Don't rub it in makes sense. I have no idea who pianist Rubinstein is. Are taco runners like mocks? Is it orter? Ooh, I don't know who Rubinstein is. I think Tahoe Runner is actually Mac. It's one of the operating system names that Macs use, isn't it? Arter, I don't know, but I think it's probably Mac. I'm going to leave this one as an uncertain because I don't know anything about this, but Tahoe is definitely a Mac operating system, so I'm going to leave it as that. What do we have up here? Lacked an alternative and crosses to bear. I'd love to get into this top right corner because we already have this, which seems like the first part is right. But if it is dancer, then that doesn't work. Because something DF seems pretty unlikely. Lacked an alternative. I don't know. That one's really throwing me still. That one's still throwing me. What do we do with this? Crosses to bear. I'm not sure. I'd love to get something we could connect to any of these words. Because then we'd be a little bit more confident that they're correct. Some coffee merchants offerings. Is it grounds? No, that doesn't fit. What else could be ending in D that's plural here? Because beans obviously doesn't fit. I don't think it's like mugs or something in that shape. What else could it be? Is it similar to grounds? Is it blends? I think it could be blends. If they're a fancy coffee place, they might offer things that are like mixed types of coffee. Can we confirm that in any way? Is there anything that'll give us more context on this? Spread. This one annoys me. This one annoys me quite a lot. This, like noble gases chemically, I feel like I should be able to get, because we're trying to say that they are inert, they're non-reactive, they are what is another way of saying that ends in an E? Stable we mentioned before. You're right. I think stable might be it, actually. If because that ends in an E. So let's put that in here. Nearest item to pick, I still don't know what that's trying to get us to say. Do we have a problem here? I wonder if this is meant to be okay. It's something okay. Let's put that in question mark text. Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. I am thinking this is going back to what we were saying at the beginning. We put PayPal in there as like maybe that's what they're referencing, but I think this is gonna be some kind of like card, like Christmas card website. But I don't know what it wants from us. So I think one thing that we know though is probably, if the last letter is a B, this letter is probably a B. Right? If we think it is a reduplicative name, which means it says its name twice, then in the same space as the B would be another B. Is this like cold neuralgia? Is this black? Is this bronchitis? Is this I don't know what goes in here. Because the fact that there's a C there keeps making my brain think like bronchial, but the A doesn't fit with that. So that is a bit of a problem. Is this brain? I like brain for this. It's neuralgia, so it's affecting the brain, right? I don't know what cold necessarily fits in there, but can we make brain fit? Spread. It's like distribute. Is it like peanut butter? I'm still not seeing anything that makes sense with that one. Yeah, brain freeze is kind of what I was thinking, because that fits the cold part, right? But kick is definitely wrong if it's that. Because that makes a lot of sense. If the brain is the neuralgia part, freeze is the cold part. I've never heard of it referred to like that, but I can see how those two pieces make sense. I was trying to parse what we do with these bits, though. Because neither of the words we thought this might be fit if an F is there. We have a Z here. That I don't know either necessarily. Okay, but I like brain freeze. There's a bunch of tricky bits left for us to find here. I know it's not. My brain just wants to put tritone in here. Orzo. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I like that. I don't actually know what it means, but that would make sense. Maybe I learned something today. Or I guess another something today. What do we do with this? Is this all okay? Which would mean this is also an A? Is this after? Is this anti? Is this... Yeah, I was thinking drop-offs too, but like... That's what I was thinking. It feels like a weird thing to pluralize, so I don't know if I love that. We'll put it in as a question mark, because I was thinking of that one, but I don't love it. So someone else has mentioned it. I'll write it in, but I think it's probably wrong. I'm wondering if this is like gab gab or like some kind of, you know, it's probably going to be something we don't know what it is, and we just know we can duplicate the text. I don't love all okay, because it doesn't really feel like this sentence. Do we have a problem here? If it was one more letter, you could make y'all okay, and that I think would work, but I don't love it here. It might be that, but I don't trust it yet. Can we do anything else with these long horizontals? I don't know if I can immediately. Decorative, so to speak. Something for show? Just for show. Just for show. That's definitely what this one is. That's just for show. Which almost certainly means this is a J. Computer runs are probably jobs. This is this one. This is the future. Probably in the future. If that's jib jib. What is this? This is unroll. Jib jab makes sense to me. Then it would be all okay. Okay, hold on. I think we've made some progress here. What? It looks like it is actually drop-offs. I don't feel like that's super great. This is probably rural. Old hand and shorthand is a steno, probably. This is Sanio, and I don't know what that is. Is that a lot? Hue could easily be like a bike brand, because it's called Some Choppers. What would be the last letter, though? Is there something wrong in here? Maybe. I think Sanio is the company that does, like... Is it a Y? I think it's a... I know it's said to Sanio, but it might be a Y, because I think it was like a Japanese company? I don't really remember much about this. Is it Huey's? Is it just Los? Because LA subdivision is Los Angeles, so it's just Los? I bet you that's what it is. And these are Huey's. I have no idea what these are, but this all makes sense to me. Okay, okay, we're getting somewhere. It's taken us a long time, but we're getting somewhere. Hopefully all this is right, because if there's a mistake here, oh, it's going to be a hard one to go back and find. Crosses to bear. Can we do anything with the downs on this side instead? This is like, I don't trust it. I doubt it. I doubt it feels good to me. Let's leave that. Reductive neologism for a strong female lead. I think I'll be able to get this. I'm not sure where they're trying to go with it yet. Figure in Greek mythology who was brought up by a bear. I don't know if we read these when we were doing the verticals earlier. Hey, Ginger. Good to see you. What do we have for this? Local equals fresh. I don't know what that slogan is. I've never heard it. Malarkey might be guff? I don't love guff here, but it might work. Hit 22 is bust. I think we missed reading a couple of these clues when we were doing the verticals earlier. Because I don't remember a bunch of these. Is this Bubba? I think I remember hearing that somewhere, but I would not have necessarily assumed that was Bill Clinton. This is probably artist. But like, Barfins? I don't know. I don't like this corner. Something in here feels wrong still. Is this maybe a bit odd? Yes, this is Burdens. This is had to. I don't know what this is. But those parts make sense now. What are we supposed to do with this? We're almost through it, but there's probably potential for more mistakes in here. My Greek mythology is not bad, but clearly I don't remember this story. Malarkey? Could be bull? It might be dit? Is this girl something? Girl boss? It's almost certainly girl boss. This is the TSA. This is Atlanta? Hey! We got there. Yeah, exactly, Solar. We weren't sure if dit was dot or dit at the start. Oh man, that was way harder than most of the crosswords we've tried doing on stream, which is funny because we've done some of the Saturdays and Sundays too, and this one absolutely wrecked me a lot harder than the other ones did. Whew. Atalanta, apparently. Fascinating. So it is in fact Rudy over here. I guess I could have put this as definitely the O. We knew this was pretty guaranteed once we got this one. It was just Arter and... but once we had Don't Rub It In, Rudy also was pretty guaranteed. This was really the only tile I was unconfident about after we finished it. Whew, what a puzzle. All right. Let's take a little brain break and try something a little different. We'll play the connections. This will be today's connections, so if you do them yourself, keep in mind that we are doing them from today now. And the idea here is we're trying to make 4 groups of 4 things with as few incorrect groupings as possible. So what do we have here? We have a couple of different words that are like pirate themed: Jolly Roger, crow's nest, cannon, and plank. But I don't trust that immediately on its own. Let's just take a look and see if these go into any other categories. There's also like calf raise, crunch, plank, and push-up. So if we're talking exercises, that overlaps with our pirate one. So it's probably only one of these can be correct. What else could we be doing with these? We've got Kit Kat, Jolly Roger. No, I don't know. I thought these might have been chocolates, but Jolly Roger is not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Jolly Rancher, which is the candy. So that's probably not right. Crow's nest. Crow's feet would be the like lines on the face where like pinch could connect to it. Plunge, deficit, absence could go together, but these other ones don't. Maybe no. Okay, what if it's not the athletic ones and it is in fact the pirate ones? Because we have crunch, pinch, a deficit, and an absence, which could all be like low on money. I don't love absence so much. But if it's that, then the pirate ones are probably actually correct. And if those go together, what do we do with the other sports ones? Like calf raise in particular. The exercise ones are much less clear then. I don't know. I think I might have to just try one of these. There's a couple of different options. If we can eliminate some of the letters, I think it'll make things a lot easier. But I think we have a decent approach here with a couple of these things. Let's try this one. It was indeed parts of a pirate ship. Okay. I kind of got that vibe after running through some of these theories. But what do we do with the exercise words then? Wireless is also a weird one. Is this like... No. It's just like wireless radio, sports radio. But I don't see any other obvious radio words in here. Because wireless could be part of our purple clue, which would imply that it could be a word that follows all of them. But I'm not seeing that so far. I like the financial crunch language as a potential approach here, going for like a crunch, a deficit, a pinch, and maybe a plunge. Yeah, like Garuku, you're saying. Because these all make good sense to me as being financial monies. Absence, I don't love quite so much, so I think it's probably plunge. No, one of those is wrong. Okay. Well, I wonder which one it is. We know crunch, pinch, plunge, and deficit mostly go together. So what do we do with the things that are left? We have a fry cook. What do I do with this? Because a bunch of interesting two-word ones. Chick flick, Kit Kat. You're right, it could be work attendance, but I don't know. Because, like, I feel like pinch, deficit, crunch, and absence could indicate that they're like tough times, and then plunge doesn't fit. But where does plunge go? Is it... No, I guess it could go with the exercises, but then it's just a lunge, right? I'm trying to figure out where... There's a couple of bits that we're not super clear on. Like, where does wireless go in any of these sets? I don't see any other words that obviously connect to it. So there's probably something going on here. If we assume it's these four, can we do anything with the rest? Because Chick Flick, Kit Kat have like similar assonants. Two words is almost certainly not the category. It might be possible, but I don't think I've ever seen it. They usually try to do something a little bit more overtly about the content than it is about the shape, but not always. The other thing I'm seeing is push-up bra and sports bra, but I don't see another obvious bra. Wireless bra? Maybe it is bras. Is that a bra type? I bet you that's a bra type. Let's check. It is indeed a bra type. All right, let's try crunch, absence, pinch, and deficit, because we think that makes the most sense for these terms. Shortage, yeah. Is it just two words, or is there something more to this? Because Chick Flick and Kit Kat have an obvious, like, similar sound. Calf raise doesn't. Fry cook doesn't. Calf, kit, fry, and chick. It's just starting with a word for a young animal. That's all it is. Yeah, starting with baby animals. Ugh, all right. Well, we got there. We got there. I should have been able to get that purple one much sooner, but I just did not see that. Hoi. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna mix it up again. Continue our break here. You're so accidentally locked in. Listen, we take those, eh, Ginger? We take those. It still counts. Let's go do the strands. This is often pretty quick, but sometimes really throws me for a loop. So this is a puzzle where the premise is we're trying to use every letter once in like a connected word kind of word search. There's always one that goes at least all the way horizontally or vertically. and they're based on the same theme, which in this case is while you were sleeping. Get it more centered there. So often I find once you get the first word here, it's pretty easy to get the rest. But sometimes that first word can be harder than you would expect. What are we looking at here? The X is really throwing me for a loop here. That can only be used using these vowels, which are right next to them. Yeah, I see Tooth Fairy here. You're probably right. These might all be... It doesn't actually accept it, though. Is it the Tooth Fairy? It is, in fact, the Tooth Fairy. Because I see pillow here. And this is coin. This one I'm not sure what it is. But I could see we got some of the pieces here. Wings. This is probably exchange. That's what I was trying to figure out what we could do with. That makes sense to me. And then this is note? Do people leave notes for the Tooth Fairy? Well, this is obviously wand and tutu. That's kind of a weird set. I don't know if I love that one. I'll take it. We solved it relatively fast, but like weird set of words. I'm so annoyed. I hit 99% solve because there was one a little while back where I just could not find any words and gave up. Finally broke my 100% solve streak. Dang it. Let's do our Wordle next. I do love picking random starting words, and today I feel like doing olive. Oof, big nothing. Okay. Let's do, if I can use the A and the U, that would be nice, and I'd like to use some other good letters with it. Let's try stray. Maybe we won't use the U, but we'll use the Y. Well, that's something. That's something. So we know the S has to be there. Does the A go here, or does the A go in the third spot? Are we looking like a sauna kind of deal? Sauna could be good. It'll give us a lot of information about the A, but it doesn't give us many new letters if it's not that. Because it could also be like shank or well, there's not a whole lot of other possible middle shapes with the letters we have left. Shank and spank. But yeah, spawn, exactly. I think we have to do one that tries the A in the middle, because I think it's probably pretty likely. I'm gonna try spank. I don't know if it'll accept it, but we'll give it a try. Okay. Is it swamp? I think it's swamp. It is, in fact, swamp. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. If we take a look at the Wordlebot, how much does it hate my answers? Tell me how we did. Let's see. Oh, it thought we did pretty good, actually. I always am interested to see what the actual odds are for each of the guesses we do. It never actually rates our first word, which is partly why I don't feel too bad picking random words every time. because, oof, Olive did not help us out today. Stray cut us down from 412 to only 18 options, though. That's pretty darn good. Spank brought us down to only 2 options. What was the other one? It would have been Swamp and... I don't know. What was the other option? Swamp and... Scamp. Oh, that would have been mean if it had been Scamp, but thankfully we got it right, and it was in fact Swamp. Fascinating. I think WordleBot's really fun, just to see what the actual math says about our choices. I can't change the adjustment of this page, so it is just a little janky, sorry. And one more game here of a different type. We have the Spelling Bee. As a quick reminder, for anyone who hasn't done this in a while, the Spelling Bee involves making as many words as you can that are at least 4 letters long and include the L. So like lucid, lucidly, cloudy, cloud, and maybe cloudily. Yeah, there's our pangram. These are all the letters. We also have, I don't know, not collide because there's no E. We can't do collude because there's no E. We could do Claude. We can do loud. We can do loudly. I did cloud and cloudy already. I gotta remember to do all my like possible endings. There's no lucidity because there's no T. What do we have here? We have lily. We have illy. We have icily. There's gonna be so many LYs in this set. We have doll and dolly. What else have we got here? We don't quite have cilia or celiac. We have cull and dull and dully. What else do we have? We have lol. I want to see if there's a word I can start with the Y, but I'm not really seeing one. Oldly? Coldly is definitely one. I think there's often value in just writing silly things in this puzzle because the process of saying dilly will either find you a word or let you think about other things that might be accurate instead. Because this is like dilly-dally, right? Is what I was thinking there. But there's no A, so you just put in one part and it might find out that it actually is a word. What else can we do with this? Will it just take lol? No, it's only 3 letters long. It needs to be at least 4. We have idle. We have idyll and idyllic. That's a fun word. Coil, yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can do with idol. Because it's not idyllic, it's idyllic. We have lull also. Yeah, idyllic is a fun one. E. coli. E. coli is just part of the E. coli name, so it is unlikely to be accepted. Can't hit me with that one on raid night. Ah, yes. I forgot it's relevant to raid night. Are you all done raiding now, or are you still going? I think you were saying last week was the last week, which is a silly way to say that, but you know what I mean. You have cool and coolly. Oh, tonight was the last night. Well, there you go. I guess not coolly, but yes, cool. My brain really wants to do all these words that have E's in them. Collide and whatnot. We can't do those. They're not included in here. Need one more to get a friend of a static member of the mount for 2 million each. Hey, that's making bank, right? We take those. I know, not having an E does make things tricky. The real problem here that I think is a challenge is you have a lot of words that might not actually have an L in them, but because they fit with Lee, they become valid. Like cuddly does have an L in it for cuddle, but the E being missing kind of throws me off for the immediate read on it. Is it coddly? I know that coddle is a word with an E in it, but not with a Y. We're doing okay here, but we are slowing down a little bit. How many points do we need to get to genius? 19 points. So there is a separate challenge for getting every word, but I don't normally try for that. We might try today, because it doesn't seem like there's too many words. The fewer words there are, the more reasonable it is to try and go for the challenge of actually getting all of them. But I generally try to get at least to genius, which is their highest tier of responses. So let's take a look and see what we haven't tried here yet. We got a couple different CLs. Are there any other we can do here? We never did Claude. We didn't do Cloy. I like that. Okay. We have a couple of COs, but I feel like there's probably more COs. It's colic. Yeah, colic is one. Can we do collude? Nope. Again, don't have an E. We did coil already. Is coily a word? Coily is actually. Coil with the O. If I could spell, this would be a lot easier. Coily is a valid one. What else have we got? I suspect there's more. Oh, cyclic. Cyclic is a fun one. I expect there's more COs I'm not seeing. Let's move to a different starting letter though. I'm not feeling the C's. On D. Any other DIs? We could do just dill. We could do diddly? It did accept diddly. I kind of didn't expect that one to go through. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Maybe we'll see if we can get any more in here. What else would it be if diddly is accepted? What other awful LYs is it going to possibly be looking for? Well, dildo. Dildo's one of them. That would be in there. I'm not seeing any other obvious DOs. Is there like a D? I don't think there's dildo-ly. No. I will send that message through for you though. What? Is there anything else on D at all? Because DO, DI, and DU feel like to me the only ways we're going to be able to get things going here. So we've already done dull and dully. My brain keeps wanting to do like dulcet, but most of those letters aren't in there. I feel like there's another DU, but I don't actually see one. No dullard, no. Oh, duly. It's duly. Okay, there is one. Okay. Have we done... We've done a couple of I words. We've got icily, which means we can't really do icy, so that's probably all we can do with IC. We've got idle, idle, and idyllic on ID. There might be another one there, because idly would count. Is there another ID? We've done idle and idyllic, idle, idly. Maybe that's all the IDs? There might be another one in there, but I'm not seeing it. We've already done illy, which I think is probably the only IL, because there's no, like, iliac we have access to. We have Lily on the LYs. Is there another one of those? I don't see one. Lidley? No, probably not. Okay. Did we do loudly? Yeah, we did loud and loudly. Loud, loudly, and lol are our LOs. We can do loci. That gives us another one. What else have we got here? We've got... Not loyal, because there's no A. Is it loco? It is loco. Okay, that's a valid one then. Is there... We got how many LUs right now? We got 3 of them. Lucid, lucidly, and lull. Is there another LU? Ludic? No, I like ludic, but unfortunately it's not valid. Almost there for, like, lucky. Just Lucy? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Is there anything that we haven't... Oh, we haven't got any O words, and oily is definitely one. We have oleo as well. I don't remember what oleo actually means, but it's a word that comes up all the time in this game, and I'm surprised I didn't see it earlier. We have oddly, and ludic? No, it doesn't like that either. Is there another? Is there an OY, OC? Again, occlude. No E though, can't do occlude. It's a cold. It's a cult, but you have a cold, so you can't use can't pronounce things correctly. I feel like we're so close. I don't know how many words. Let's look up how many words there are. So the hints option here will open in another window. It will give us context about how many words there are. So I'm going to bring that up on my phone so we can keep this on stream. But I'm curious how many are left. Oh, a bunch. Okay. Apparently there are 49 total words, and we have 42. When we're trying to go for the queen bee, I don't mind using the hints here to give us the context about which areas we don't need to focus on anymore. So there's 5 CL words. We've got all those. There's 10 CO words. I've only got 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So there's 4 CO words we need to get. There's 2 CUs and a CY. Okay, so there's a CU and 4 COs. That makes up a big chunk of the remaining words. Ooh, wrong button. What could that be? Cull is the only CU we've got so far. No, there's nothing in the Y. The only starting letters are C, D, I, L, and O. Because if we have to have a bunch of COs... What are we working with here? We have... Cold D? Coolly, I already did. No, it's Coolly. That one's a new one. Okay, 3 COs left. I don't know if we're going to be able to get all these. This is getting into the place where it's harder. One is could. Two COs left. We already did coily. Can I add anything to the CO words we have? We have cold and coldly, coil and coily? Coily? No. Collically? No. Cool and coolly, could, coily. As in, yeah, we're actually trying to get all the words this time. So we are close to the end. There are 5 words left. 2 of them start with CO. 1 of them starts with CU. No, none of them start with CU. We have both CUs. I just can't count. What are the other words that we're missing then? Let's do the rest of this list. There's 4 DIs, which we have all 4. There's 3 DOs, we have all 3. And there's 3 DUs, which we have all 3. So we're done on D. We have the only IC. There's 5 IDs, so there's an ID missing. And 1 IL, which we have. 1 LI. 5 LOs. We have all 5. And 4 LUs. 1, 2, 3. It's spelled with an E, Eisen. Docile. So we're missing an LU. We're also missing an OC. LU, OC, ID. And 2 more COs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Okay. An OC, an ID, an LU. I don't think that's going to work. Idyllic, yes. Idyllic? I don't think so. I think we tried that one earlier too. So, what can we do with OC? Oculi. No? Ah, I felt good about that one. We can also find out how long the words are. It turns out the OC word is 5 letters long. Ocul? Oculi? It was just oculi. Okay, I was overthinking it. All right. So, since we only have 1 of words in each space, if we need the LU, we know that L has 1 7, 1 6, and 1 5, and we have lucidly as our 7, loudly as our 6, and lucid as our 5, which means the last LU is actually a 4-letter word. Is it just Ludo? No. It's not lull. It's not Lucy. Is it Lulu? It's Lulu. I don't believe that one. You made that one up. I don't accept that. All right. We're getting there, though. We know that there's now only 3 words left. One of them is our ID that we don't have. So let's see if we can figure out how many letters that one has. There's a 7 and 2 5s in the IDs. We have idyllic and idyll and icily. So it's another 4-letter word. We already did idly? Yeah. We already did idle. We already did... Get out of the way. Microphone cord. What other ID? Is it just Idil but tiny? Okay, I don't like that either. I don't accept that. IDYL? Okay. We got it, but like, I don't like that one. Idle would be excellent if we had an E, Ginger. But unfortunately, there's no E. Okay, we're down. We're down very close. All that's left now are the two COs that we don't have. So all we gotta do is get these last two, and we've got them all, which I think is kind of fun. Now, the COs are a little harder to tell how many letters the remaining words have because there's a lot more words in the CO category. But there's 1 8, which is cloudily. There's 2 7s, and it might honestly be both 7s. Because we have a 6 here, a 6 here, a 6 here, and a 6 here, and a 6 here, but we don't have any 7s. So it looks like that's what we need to find. We need to find our CO 7-letter words. Colludic. Colludic? No. Yeah, Kuruku's doing the same thing. Colludic. Coodly. Oh, man. Colonic would make a lot of sense if we had an N, but we don't. Is there anything else we could do with, like, cocoa? I don't see it. Oh, no. There's no N. Cyclonic. There's no N, so we can't do colony. No. It's probably not Coolio. If it accepted Coolio, I'd be so happy, but it's only 7-letter words that are left. So, it can't be Coolio. Ah, we're so close. What else can we do with this? Codices. It doesn't have an L in it. We don't have the E either. Ooh, man, we're so close. I don't know. I might have to give up on this. Coddly. It's like shoddily, but more fish related. Oh man, I don't even know what else we could do shape wise. Cold. I don't know. I might have to give up on this. We're so close though. Cod. What? What are you last CO words? We're so close. What other start? Is there a different start we haven't used that we could try? Oh, what else? We can't do codex. We can't do codices. It does accept codicil, though. Okay, one left. What is the last word? Oh no. Collude. Collide. Collie. I know colloidal silver is a word. Is it colloid on its own? Is that a word? Hey, we found everything. Oh, those get hard at the end. Those get real hard at the end. But hey, there's our first Queen Bee on stream. I've only done 26 of these ever. So those are hard, and I feel like I don't go for them most of the time because, I don't know, man. Some of those words are tough. But we got there. We got there. I'll take it. Hoi. All right. Well, we've had a little brain break, which means it's time to come back for our round 2 crossword, I think. And that'll probably be our last word challenge for the stream. There's another word game I found recently that I'm very curious about. It's called... Oh, I shouldn't have moved this. I'm a fool. It's called Parseword, and I believe it's by the same person who made Wordle. And what's cool about it is it's basically a way to train yourself on how to solve cryptic crosswords. But I've only done one of the puzzles yet today, so I'm not really ready to share it as a thing that I think is definitely great, but it's very interesting. So if you are interested in crosswords and the harder, weirder crosswords, it might be a fun one to check out. If I like it, I may show it off in the future. It's still early days on that front. So let's jump into the archives here and pick ourselves a new day to do a puzzle from. This Friday one was tough, so let's challenge ourselves to do another Friday. We'll do the Friday from a couple weeks ago now. Get this lined back up again. That should do the trick. I don't know what Bogdle is. I assume it's a boggle-shaped wordle? We might take a look at that depending on how long this takes. So, let's get into our second Friday crossword. Group of students on a field trip, say. Okay. Holly or Monty for Queen Elizabeth II. Is that a corgi? Where to see the sights on the internet. Tools for potatoes. Mashers? I'm not sure what's going on with that one. Guitar player's percussive technique. I wanted to say slap bass, but I'm almost certain that's wrong. Canine's coat. I don't know what that's looking for. Presumably it's like fur, but it might be more complicated of a term. President whose wife was nicknamed Lemonade Lucy for refusing to serve alcohol in the White House. I have no idea. I've never heard of that. Winter coat makes sense. Yeah, it might be that. Let's hold on a second. I think corgi is probably correct here. Let's just take a quick look at this. Can we see if any of these make sense? Prompt. Dangerous item whose first 6 letters are an anagram of danger. It's a grenade. Keys. Well, winter does potentially still fit here. I don't feel like it's winter, but it might be. What else could some Christmas dinner decorations be? If it does indeed start with a C, I'm thinking like canes? Candy canes? My brain wants to say oral cavity, but I don't know if that's correct or not. Prompt is like a reminder. What does this give us? These are pairers. Keys. I'm not sure what that's looking for again. Oh, it's enamel. Canine is in the tooth. That's sneaky. Cheeky. I'm not sure what that's looking for. Keys is an island. Island? Like the Florida Keys kind of thing. I don't know what some of these are. Kicks in. Ads? If I could if I could put letters in the right place, that would help. If that's an S, then islands isn't right. Unless there's a trick in this puzzle, which we don't know. This looks like it's end of the line, but this is islets. Okay, I don't know what this is still. Cheeky. I don't know. What do we have here? Something unwanted that can linger. Odor? Deceptive actions. Tricks? I don't know about this one. This I'm a little less confident on. Cross product. I don't know what that's looking for. Chuck, who created young Sheldon. Oh, no idea. Showed subservience in a way. It's a long one, which makes it hard to kind of intuit at a glance. Section of Westminster Abbey where Chaucer and Shakespeare are honored. Film character who says, "Not all treasures silver and gold, mate." Isn't that Jack Sparrow? I think so. Before we go any further down, I'm going to go back into the top left corner. Start anew, maybe. But let's get up here and check these verticals. Piece that can't move to a different colored square is easy. That's a bishop. Take cargo from is unload. No. Maybe it is. It seems to me like unload. Poet's Corner does sound right, Legolas. That's probably what it is. Not hang up the call. It sounds like stay on. Is this a bus full? Stay on. Biblical pariah. Ooh, maybe not. Oranges but not apples. No. No, I don't think it's bus full. All right. Bus load. That makes more sense. Probably Anna. It does seem like it slaps something. Orbs? Is it slap bass? I was kind of joking. This is a leper. This is wrong, so it is odor. Something in here is incorrect. Cross product. I don't know what that means still. Pin, pan, pun. Biblical leper. I got it on you, sorry. President Hayes, I assume? I don't know whether it's A or E, though. I just don't know that president. We'll come back to it. This, implement with mousse or pudding. I don't know. Poet's Corner is definitely right, though. This is bend the knee. That's a knot. That's aired. Some are Gothic. This is leak. I assume this is tense, but I don't know how that is correct. Tints, maybe? The TS here is also kind of throwing me for a bit of a loop. Nowheresville. And this. I think tricks must be wrong. Let's take that one out and see if this helps, because this looks like it's like dessert spoon. Bent the knee? Yeah, bent the knee for dessert spoon. I don't know what to do with the TS here, though. That one is really unclear. This is shoreline. This is perp, maybe? No. That doesn't seem right with the way that cheeky is framed. Deceptive actions. Could be like bluffs, but that doesn't fit. Out. No, I don't know. All right, let's go finish the bottom of the puzzle, and they'll give us some more letters. C32 across for 37. With 37 across, a major New York City thoroughfare. I have no idea. Inception could be the onset. Perch with an E, I think, is some kind of fish, but I don't know which kind of fish. Gave a buzz. I don't know. Powerful auto engine type. No, I don't know that one either. Knock it off. Pop star who once stylized her name with a $sign is Kesha. Quite a lot, but it's a question mark, so it's almost certainly a joke. Trait of someone who may say things he shouldn't. Frankie the Squealer. It's definitely not that, but I really hope it is. Lots could be like the like auction lots, or it could be like betting. Streamer for things someone who said some things he shouldn't. Yeah, fair enough. A lot of us do. 1930s, 40s to a jazz aficionado. Ooh, I like jazz, but I don't know exactly what they're looking for. There might be some kind of age. Something Rooney, best-selling author of 2024's Intermezzo. I've never heard of that. And cancels. Huh. Wow. Those horizontals in the bottom did not help me at all. Take cargo from... I don't know about that one still. And this also still feels weird. That's a weird one. Something in there might still be wrong. I'm not sure. Is this t-shirt cannon? It is. It's t-shirt cannons. They're top guns. Guns that shoot tops. Ugh, I love these silly answers. They're my favorite. All right. This is feints. Larry, I guess? Fance doesn't make sense, though. Fonts. Lore? Lore-y? One horse town. Dark of beer variety. I have no idea what that's supposed to say. Folksy is a joke still. I don't know. Body of water near Sumatra. Not sure. Aids for competitive marathon runners. No. Last 6 lines of a sonnet. Oh, I should know this. Announcement upon arriving is probably I'm here. Toppers that twinkle. Sounds like stars, but it's 1 letter short. Oh, I should know this one. I'll have to come back to it. Word with mouth or training. Huh. Nope, not sure. Military chopper, it might be bird? This is probably phoned. It's a heli. Potty mouth and potty training. Scandinavian woman's name meaning blessed. Ooh, I don't know what that one is. Southern collective with a question mark. Rain Man is probably king. And bah to Lady Macbeth. I should know this one too. Ugh! My Shakespearean knowledge is failing me. This is the swing era. I was correct about it being an era. This is negates. This is phi. This is no filter. This is tiaras. I don't know what this is. I'm annoyed I still don't know what this is. This is... I don't like that. Perch might just be sit. Yeah, I was thinking Helga also. I guess this is a sestet and a hemi? I don't love it. But I don't know what else goes in there. A sextet would make a lot more sense, but Kesha's name doesn't have an X in the middle, I don't think. Unless she changed it again? Maybe she changed it again. It's definitely hemi. Well, that makes sense. It's the one that seems the... Oh, this looks... Knock it off. Hemi is a popular engine in trucks and muscle cars. Ah, there you go. The OE here is kind of throwing me. The TL also. I think this is wrong. This is like, can you not? It might be Huey again from the earlier puzzle. I was just thinking that when I put the HU in there. Is that what they call it? I have never heard that term before today. I've never heard of that. Southern Collective is y'all. What else have we got here? Quite a lot. I'm just going to put Huey in here because it must be correct. Huey is just a term for a military copter. Huh. It's funny that it showed up in both of the Friday puzzles we've looked at because I have never heard it before. Oops. Not a 3, just a Y. Okay, let's see if we can close this up. We're almost there. This is probably meant to be like C at the end. But maybe not. Folksy. I don't know. These are tricky. I don't know the New York City thoroughfare, which makes it a little hard to proceed in that area. Aids for competitive marathon runners. I feel like insoles, but it doesn't fit. It ends in an S, though. Almost certainly. My brain says provincial here, but obviously that doesn't fit. What else could it be? Quite a lot. We're so close. We've been kind of blitzing this one compared to the last one we did, but it's got us stuck now in this last corner. Body of water near Sumatra. I will admit, this is one place where my knowledge of the world is a little weak. I don't know what... Because Sumatra is in Indonesia, I think? I was thinking Sally there as well, Solar Up. I just don't know anything else about it. And I think this is probably C. But Indonesia, I'm a little bit less clear on, because isn't it all like... Well, I guess there's probably a bunch of little C's in the area, because... I have no idea what the names of all the little C's in there are. It could be really anything. The possible letter combinations could be quite complicated. I'm thinking this might be Avenue, which means this could be Java. Yeah, exactly, Solar. What is this, though? Is this parental? It is of your folks, so it is parental. This is an estate. Is this realty? This is a pacer. And this is Park Avenue. I can accept that. We still have to figure out this last top left corner that I was like, oh, is it done? Nothing happened. There's still 2 holes. If it's not, is it A or E on President Hayes? I think it's A. Is it? Oh, my American president's knowledge. Is it Rutherford Hayes? I don't know. I think it's an A. Cross product. I don't know. Is this a pen? Yes. Unlaid. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I just assumed that this had to be pen. Well, that was like significantly faster than the one we did at the start of the stream, but still took us a while to get there. I think T-shirt cannon is maybe my favorite answer in this one. That one was pretty funny. There's a couple of other good ones, but T-shirt cannon got me. All right, that takes us to right around 2 hours, which I think is probably going to be where we're going to have to leave it off for today. So thanks for coming and hanging out, folks. It is always fun for me to come and do these word games with you all. I love them anyway, and it's a good excuse to do more crosswords. We might mix it up a little bit more because I've been doing most of the New York Times puzzles the last couple of streams. I might add in a couple of other ones again. Might not. We'll see. But I am enjoying this being a nice chill word-filled Tuesday. So we might stick with it. Have yourselves a great afternoon, though, and I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.